Experience breathtaking sunrises over the Cascades, sparkling city lights, and seasonal fireworks from this exceptional hilltop estate. Nestled in an exclusive 7-home gated community, this exquisite Tudor boasts serene, light-filled living spaces with soaring ceilings and tasteful updates. With an indoor pool, sports court, hot tub, and an outdoor kitchen, this home is an entertainer's dream. Come tour this home with me. Today I've got a beautiful home tour for you right here in Auburn, Washington. This property is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath home. It's 5,770 square feet. It's at the top of the hill in Auburn. We've got an awesome basketball court, indoor pool, and killer views of all of the valley in Auburn, Washington. Let's get into it. This property is proudly listed by Diane Lucas on the Integrity Home Selling team at Keller Williams Realty Bellevue. Now, before we dive into the tour, a quick heads up on how these property tours typically go for me. You might notice that my home tours are a bit longer than what you may be used to seeing on YouTube. In fact, they might be even the longest you've come across, and that's totally intentional. I film these tours just like I would for my out-of-town or out-of-state buyers who are considering a move here to the greater Seattle area. A lot of my clients are relocating from places like New York, LA, Dallas-Fort Worth, Denver, even from outside the country, places like British Columbia and Vancouver, Canada. So I like to get really detailed in these tours. I want you to feel like you're walking through the home yourself. I'll be opening cabinets, checking out the finishes, and yes, sometimes even feeling the textures to give you a sense of what materials feel like in person. I do this because my clients rely on me to be their eyes, their ears, their hands, and yes, even their nose. And by the way, I'm happy to report that this property does not have a smell, which is always a good thing. If you miss something or want to take another look, feel free to pause or rewind the video. I often end up talking about something we just saw in another room, so you won't want to miss the details. All right, now let's get into this tour. So let's talk about the city that the property is located in for a moment. This property is located within Auburn, Washington. Auburn, Washington is a suburb city south of Seattle, and it's nestled in the heart of the Green River Valley, with parts of the city extending into the White River Valley as well. Most of Auburn, Washington sits within King County near the bottom, and the southern portion extends into Pierce County. Auburn, Washington offers a wealth of outdoor activities, including bike trails, golf courses, and fishing areas. The city boasts an extensive parks and trail system, providing ample opportunities for recreation and relaxation. For those interested in history and culture, Auburn is home to the White River Valley Museum, which showcases the region's rich heritage, including Auburn's historic downtown district, and this showcases some buildings from the early 1900s in architecture, which does offer a glimpse into the town's development during the early days of automobile travel. And shopping enthusiasts will appreciate the outlet collection, featuring a variety of retail stores and dining options. Additionally, the nearby Muckleshoot Casino Resort provides gaming and entertainment with a blend of its natural beauty, cultural attractions, and convenient location. Auburn offers a balance of dynamic lifestyle for its residents. So now let's explore this location in particular in Auburn, Washington, and what the drive time looks like to other major cities within the greater Seattle area. First up is Seattle, Washington. So Auburn is about 30 to 35 minutes away from downtown Seattle if you're traveling during non-peak hours. That's not too bad, especially if you're looking to enjoy all the city has to offer, from the waterfront to Pike Place Market and beyond. But keep in mind during rush hour, the drive time can stretch to 60 minutes or more. The main culprit here is the heavy traffic on I-5, particularly as you get closer to the city. If you're commuting to Seattle daily, this is something to factor in, especially if you work in downtown offices or have activities around the city center. So next up is Bellevue. Bellevue, Washington, one of my favorite locations in the greater Seattle area. That's actually where my office is out of. Bellevue is only about 35 to 40 minutes from Auburn, which isn't too bad if you're headed to the east side. Bellevue is a major business hub and it's known for its tech companies, upscale shopping, great schools, but like Seattle, it also suffers from rush hour delays. In the morning and evening, the drive could easily go from 35 minutes to over 70 minutes or longer, especially on I-405. So if you're working in Bellevue or just like spending time there, consider the traffic when planning your commute. Now let's talk about Tacoma, Washington. So Auburn to Tacoma is actually a bit quicker to get from Auburn because it's a lot closer in proximity. From Auburn, you're looking to about 25 to 30 minute drive under good conditions. This is a great option if you work in Tacoma or prefer living in near the city with a slightly slower pace than Seattle or Bellevue. Tacoma has a lot to offer with its museums, waterfronts, and a lower cost of living compared to Seattle, but like an area or any area in the region, rush hour can make your commute a bit longer. Expect it to stretch to 50 minutes or more during busy times on I-5. Now, last but not least, Everett, on the other hand, is the furthest out of all of these cities, but it's still within reach. So Everett's pretty far north of where Auburn is located. If traffic is light, you're looking about 50 to 55 minutes to get there. Everett has its own charm. With a great mix of urban and outdoor life, it's more affordable compared to Seattle and Bellevue, and it's becoming a popular spot for people who want to escape the heavy city life, but still have access to everything that the greater Seattle area has to offer. However, rush hour traffic on I-5 can really slow things down, and during peak times, you could see your drive time stretching to 90 minutes or more. These estimates can vary based on traffic conditions, time of day, and other factors. For most accurate and up-to-date information, it's I'm advising you to use real-time navigation apps before planning your commute. Now, I know any locals watching this are probably laughing at those drive time estimates. Let's be real, Seattle area commuting can be unpredictable at best. I would say always prep for your trip to take longer than expected and be pleasantly surprised when you get to where you're going sooner than you thought you would. Seattle consistently ranks as one of the most congested cities in the United States. So if you're commuting, always plan ahead. My advice to my home buyers, or anyone watching this, is test the drive yourself before making a decision. Use multiple apps like Google Maps, Waze, Bing Maps, etc. Not just one, to get a better idea of what your daily commute might look like. But hey, if you work from home, you won't have to worry about any of this. And speaking of working from home, this estate has a fantastic home office space, which we will check out in just a bit. Now, if you are new here to my channel, welcome. My name is Aaron Morrow. I'm a local realtor here in the greater Seattle area. I've been working with clients, buyers, sellers, and investors primarily in King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties for well over a decade now. If you are looking to make your move over here to the greater Seattle, Washington area in the next 9 days or 9 months, or you might be looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact info can be found below in the description. I would love to show you how I can make your next move over here a smooth one. Now, check out this amazing pool room. The room itself is heated. I was pointed out earlier that there is that AC unit on the wall, the ductless mini split unit there. So you have heating and cooling in this pool room. This door goes to the outside here. This is kind of a garden area. Kind of reminds me of a labyrinth, checking out those bushes there, but it's some really cool decor on the side of the house. Also notice the mounted TV, of course. And then this room, as we walk through it, will connect to some other rooms here, including this bathroom for primarily the pool area. Take a look at this right here. There's a changing area, and that seated area has its own storage underneath it. You've got this linen closet right here as well. Check it out. Saying hi to you in the mirror here. Take a look at the different windows there. I love the mosaic glass look in the window there. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this house. I know it's a little bit different. Most of the time I'm showing luxury new construction, primarily on the east side. I've shown a little in West Seattle as well as in Tacoma as well. So this is a little bit different on the channel, but I am trying to feature a little bit more variety to give you guys, the viewers, an understanding of what you can buy as well in the resale market in other areas in the greater Seattle area. Most of the homes that I showcase do come with some sort of view. There's a smiley face in the carpet. By the way, I gotta say this carpet felt super nice to walk on. It was super padded, super just soft, great carpet there. Check out that balcony up there too, which we're going to take a look at in a bit, so you can see up top here. I just think this is such a great room. Textured wall here. One thing I was pointed out, you might have to pause or rewind it, or don't even worry about it, because we're going to go take a look at it. When you walk through the kitchen, you'll be in the utility room, and above the garage is actually a whole nother area that the owner built. It is unpermitted, so we are not counting it as the total square footage in the listing. However, it is a really nice location. If someone ends up having, you know, a family wants to move in, or you want to rent it out up there, it could be a really nice location for either a tenant or a really nice location for you know, maybe an older kid to enjoy that space up there. It's really cool. We'll go check it out in a bit. Check out this entrance again. I love how grand this looks from the 2 stories here with the chandelier here. A lot could be done to this home too. If you love this location, it's a really nice valued home for the price, for the location. And if someone were to come in and give it a complete update to this home, it could be a really luxurious house up on this hilltop. And now we're checking out that home office that we mentioned about earlier. Check out, plenty of lighting floods through here and here. And I love all of the built-in shelving here. You'll also notice there is some plugins in the floor. That would be if you had like a desk in the center of the room, you could still plug in your computer or lamp or whatnot in the center of the room here. Check out these blinds as well. Right there is the outlet. Check out this older intercom system here. I'm trying to remember in my walkthrough, I believe we'll see where certain parts of the home have that connected to it, including some exterior parts. Also, a cool thing to feature near the end of this video, I will show it off. This property shares a cool treehouse with your neighbor next door. I also know the neighbors next door, and they're pretty cool. So you would have some nice friendly neighbors to share that treehouse with. And it's a really cool treehouse. So we will take a look at that near the end of the video. And check out this room too. It also has some plugins here. The idea behind that may be putting some sort of table on either side of a couch, or, you know, a side table to be able to plug in some lamps. What would you use this room for? Check it out. Love the fireplace. Love the chandelier. And we're heading back into the kitchen. This is where we're going to go take a look at what I talked about earlier. You've got the garage back here, the utility room, and that non-permitted bonus room up top. Comes with a washer and a dryer over here. You also get a completely separate entrance from the main entrance of the home right here, which does feel nice and welcome with just how long and sprawled out this estate is. Like the overhead lighting and the brick. Let me know in the comments below, is brick your style? Do you like this Tudor house? Let me know. And taking a look at these closets here. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail and kind of go off on a tangent and talk about what a Tudor house is after we do my famous garage door noise test. Let's listen to how loud or quiet these garage doors are. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe how quiet this is, especially for an older home. It's obviously a newer garage door system. Now, we did hear a little bit of screeching close to the end there, but this is perfectly acceptable for the age of the home and the technology that's within this garage door system. Really cool that this garage door is super quiet. Really love seeing that. I've toured and shown some new construction property on even the channel that had much louder garage noise to them. Now, take a look at this bonus room or studio. They do have some of the sound dampening foam, if you will. Sorry, I'm not a musician or a sound expert, but this room is treated looks, you know, like it's set up for a studio. And then you also did notice the baseboard heating there, so it's nice and heated. Take a look at the flooring here. They do have that special flooring put in on top of the garage floor. You could have like maybe a gym in here, or use this space for so many things. Or hey, you know, interesting idea, maybe parking your cars in here. You could also do that. And we will also listen to the closing of the garage door to see if there's any difference. Listen to how quiet that is. It's just that screech at the beginning or end for a split second, depending on if you're opening or closing them. But overall, very, very quiet golf course. And it's slowly going down. Perfect. What do you guys think of this garage setup? Let me know. We're gonna go take a look at what's above that studio right now. So here's this door that accesses the backyard here. You're getting a quick peek right now at the sport court, which we'll check out in a bit. But right now, let's go upstairs. So this is kind of a whole nother unit in here. Look at this little kitchenette here. Now, really interesting design going up the stairs here. I will say this is one of the narrowest stairs that I have traversed in a while, and I've seen some pretty narrow stairs in the Tacoma or Seattle area, but perfectly doable. Here we go. To give you a little bit of perspective, as I walk up these stairs, pretty much both of my shoulders are touching, but I'm not squeezing through here. I can easily walk up or down, but I'm definitely brushing against. There was a quick selfie so you can get a good idea of what this looks like, but it's definitely brushing against both sides of my shoulders here as we walk up and down. Also, I would like to note to watch your step on the way back down as well, since there's no railing system. But take a look at how cool this space looks. Get a good look out this window here. Notice the sports court says High Crest, which is a nod to the road that this property is on. It's a beautiful overcast day out. Obviously, I didn't pick the best day for filming where you're gonna get such a clear look at the surrounding community in Auburn, but I did pick a pretty typical overcast day when there is overcast, so you get a good idea of what your view might look like, you know, for at least 1/3 of the year. So this unit up here comes with its own bathroom here. It's a 0.75 bath. Take a look at the intricate tile work too. And it does come with a wall heater here. Perfectly functional. So 0.75 here in the greater Seattle area, we divide bathrooms into quarters. If it's a full bath, it has all 4 components, which would be a toilet, a sink, a shower, and a tub. So since this has a walk-in shower but no tub, it is considered a 0.75. Also, most half baths you run into are like powder rooms where they are a toilet and a sink. I have told this story a couple times through some other videos, so it might be old for some people that watch all my videos, but interesting enough, one of the more interesting half baths I came across, it was either in Seattle or Tacoma, I can't remember which city it was in, but the half bath had a bathroom that had a toilet and a shower, a walk-in shower, but no sink. So that was technically a half bath, and I guess in that shower you'd wash your hands in the sink after using the restroom. Okay, we are walking back through here. Again, we are in the primary kitchen. Love the under cabinet lighting in here. I'm a sucker for under cabinet lighting. I think it's awesome. It definitely changes the mood or vibe of a kitchen. And if you have a kitchen that doesn't have a lot of natural light coming through it, adding under cabinet lighting can definitely help brighten the mood for a kitchen. Also, check out how tall and narrow these windows are. Oh, that being said, so let's talk a little bit about what a Tudor house is. So Tudor house style is a home that takes inspiration from medieval English architecture. It's particularly from the Tudor period, which was 1485 through 1603. However, here in the United States, what we call Tudor revival became popular in the early 20th century, especially in the 1920s and 1930s. So key features of a Tudor house: steeply pitched gable roofs, often with multiple overlapping gables, decorative half timbering. This exposed wood beams on the exterior fill the stucco or the brick. Tall, narrow windows like we just saw, usually with leaded glass or diamond-shaped panes. Now, brick or stone exterior, sometimes mixed with wood and stucco. Massive chimneys, often made of brick with decorative chimney posts. And arched doorways. Many of these are round or Tudor-style arches at the entry. So Tudor homes have a charming storybook feel and are often found in older established neighborhoods. They tend to feel warm and cozy inside, and with lots of wood details and fireplaces. While they're most common in the Midwest and East Coast, you can still find them in other areas of the greater Seattle area. Now, I did sell, I helped a buyer purchase a Tudor up in the Snohomish County a few years back. That was interesting because the whole exterior it just screamed Tudor. It was a Tudor house, but the interior was completely modernized, super hyper modern as a feel. And it's just kind of interesting how they didn't really clash with each other, but you're not expecting it walking into that house. And it was kind of a nice and unique look to it. But just walking through this house, when I see the exterior, it reminds me of that client that was able to purchase that property and a good deal on that. That also does remind me, that property that they purchased up in Snohomish County, that was actually a client that I helped buy an off-market property. So this property wasn't even listed for sale on the multiple listing service. It's not something that you would have been able to find on Zillow or Redfin. It also doesn't count as a pocket listing because I was representing the buyer and didn't have anything signed or any intention of listing or selling the property. This is just a seller that I have kept track with that I knew would take an offer from a buyer that was, wanting to make an offer on their home. This is actually a strategy that I've been using for years now in my business, and I've been building up this off-market inventory list where I try to play home matchmaker. So anytime I come across, for every seller that I come across that's ready to maybe sell their home in the next 6 or 9 months and put their home on the market, I come across 50 more that, for multiple reasons, everyone has different reasons, but would prefer not to put their home on the multiple listing service, or they're not ready yet. Maybe they're ready to sell in 2 years down the road. However, they are open to receiving an off-market offer from a buyer. So, for example, if I were to put a buyer in front of them off-market at X amount price point, they would be willing to sell it off-market ahead of time, even if they weren't ready to list their home for another 2 years. That being said, I come across a lot of these, and I'm building up more and more inventory every day, and I pitch this list basically to everyone and anyone I meet. And anytime I come across a property that matches the criteria of what any buyer that I've ever worked with or has, that's in my database, I connect the buyer with that seller. And a lot of the times we're able to make some really nice off-market purchases happen this way. And it's a good way for buyers in particular to get a good deal on a home. I've had a buyer in the past where we were able to save them about $150,000 below the appraised value because we were able to help them buy a home off market this way. Alternatively, it's a win-win situation, because with some sellers, like I mentioned, they would just rather not deal with going on the MLS and would just prefer to sell their home off market. So a lot of these are win-win situations, and I find a lot of joy in being able to create those sales and make them happen. and where the buyer would not have been able to find that had I not been able to intervene and help them out. So really cool that we're able to provide this service. So if anyone on this video is listening to that and you think, hey, I may or may not be ready to buy in the next few years, but if I came across my perfect property, whatever you're looking for, I do have a off-market home finders program that I'd love for you to fill out a form for me. So I do have that form linked in the description of this video. Feel free to fill it out. It's absolutely free for me to get these properties in front of you. Now, there's no obligation to work with me to just fill out that form. I do always put the properties in front of the buyers that I am actively working with and who have hired me first. Once they've gone through the buyers that I'm working with and they have ruled out these properties that I am building this inventory with, I then go down that list and put them in front of anyone and everyone that has taken the time to fill out that intake form. So feel free to check it out. The Perfect Off-Market Home Finders Program. Would love to get you on that list so I have more people that I can get these off-market houses in front of and potentially get you a good deal. So check that out. All right, so we are checking out the upstairs as I was giving you that long story. This is the primary bedroom here that we're walking into now. Check out the double French doors right here. Again, the carpet feels very nice. And then here is a closet in here. There's also more closeting in the primary bathroom as well. I love the beautiful views that you get from your primary bedroom here. And then you also have the wood fireplace off to the right here. But check out those views from the window here. And again, this was half overcast, so you're not even seeing the views from its full potential. Now, a few things that I want to point out on this property as we continue to tour this home is some of the updates or features that this property does have. This property has new carpet and paint throughout. That's the carpet keeps continuing to not disappoint here. Also, you'll notice a flickering there in the camera. I believe the bulb needs to be replaced. Easy fix there, and then you won't get that blinking anymore. But like I said, new paint, new carpet, very low maintenance AstroTurf yard. And one thing I believe I forgot to mention earlier is this property is in a private gated community. It's actually a double gated street and it's privately owned by the High Crest residents, and the voluntary dues are $500 a year to maintain gates in the street. This property is pretty close to 5 acres. It's 4.8 acres to be exact. And adjacent is a 9.25 acre Lewis Lake Nature Park. And right here I am pointing out the walk-in closet. There was also access to the attic right there. So again, as a reminder, you've got this walk-in closet right here, and then you have that bonus closet in the primary bedroom back there. This is also your private balcony up here, which you get again amazing views of Auburn within the Green River Valley right there. And you've got just such an awesome backyard to take a look at. Imagine having your morning coffee while you are watching other people play pickleball on this court, or basketball, or whatever you want to use this court for. There is also that outdoor kitchen, which we will get a better look at in a bit. Now, one thing to notice is when you walk into this bathroom there, I believe, don't quote me on it, but I believe the toe kick, so the lighting that's underneath the bathroom there, I believe it's on a sensor where you walk in. I like the under cabinet lighting that is under the cabinets here. I was also just pointing out that exterior speaker there. There's the lighting right there. I think it looks nice. Definitely adds a nice touch. You got some nice tile work down here. Again, I apologize for the flickering here. Double sinks here. Intricate tile work. There's the right side that's not flickering, so you have a good idea of what that looks like. And let's take a look. Here is the toilet room, the latrine, the commode, whatever you want to call it. Nice that it has a privacy door to it. And you've got this walk-in shower or sitting shower. Got a seat in there. And you have some more closet space right here. Got this nice view of your front yard with a ton of different bushes to take a look at. I believe I saw some rhododendrons in there. And some different trees here. What do you guys think of the tile work, especially in that shower niche? Let me know in the comments below. And we're going to head back through here, through your primary. I like how the primary flows through here, so you kind of just have a nice walk. This primary is nice and big, and it almost reminds me of like a hallway. I helped a client buy a property on the water south of Seattle. It was on a lakefront property. I actually have a video testimonial from that client. That is posted on the channel. If you'd like to check out my client playlist or my video testimonial client playlist, that will also be linked in the description. There's a ton of people that have just talked about what it was like working with me, what their home buying and selling journey was like, and again, what it was like having me as their realtor. But what I was saying was that one client that helped them buy that property that's on the water, they have a really nice setup where in their primary, they have one of the largest closets I've ever walked through with the configuration. It's almost a walk-through closet. So their closet felt like the same size as that primary bedroom was. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is it had a similar vibe as far as the pass-through in the closet and how you had these nice windows overlooking this really nice view walking through there. So if it sounds like I'm kind of going off on a tangent, at least in my head, this relates. Feel free to go check out those videos, and you will definitely come across the client video testimonial where we were able to go over that closet. Now, I just pointed out the shared treehouse. We will go take a look at that. It's a really cool treehouse where it was actually built around the tree. Pretty cool. And we will definitely go check it out. Here is that sport court. And you can see the AstroTurf grass below. There's also that hot tub right there. And then you've got this really nice seated area with a fire pit. And there's a cool design in the fire pit. It's Mount Rainier, I believe. You also have these nice string lights all along the fence here that blocks off this cliffside. If you have a fear of heights, you might not want to go to the edge. I don't have a fear of heights myself as far as myself falling from high structures. My fear of heights more comes from losing my glasses or my phone if I'm walking like on a bridge or if I'm standing near a cliff. So I can't tell you how many times I have a death grip on my phone, or I just make sure it's in my pocket if I'm ever walking on a bridge or would ever be at risk of letting my phone drop off the cliff into oblivion. And again, we're walking past the pool here. Like all the stonework right here. And as we come up here, you can get a better look at the outdoor kitchen. It started dumping rain right now. Again, I did not pick the best day to film this, but it's giving you a good idea of what this would look like if it's dumping rain. Which we do get a good amount of rain here in the Seattle area, although we are definitely not anywhere even close to one of the cities in all of the United States that gets the most rain. We're just one of the more well-known cities. So this is a really cool structure. I was not able to walk inside it due to limitations on time. However, I'm going to throw up on the screen an interior shot of it so you can see how you could be storing a boat or maybe a semi truck or, you know, whatever you want to store in there to keep it from the outside elements here. We're going to take a walk down this driveway here so you can see what the property looks like from this road, and then I'm going to show you the treehouse. Now let's take a quick look at what's going on in the real estate market for Auburn, Washington, specifically this zip code 98001. This zip code is a lot smaller of an area. With that said, new listings, the data that we have is as recent as February, mind you. So as of 2025 compared to 2024, 2025 we have 23 new listings in the zip code, as compared to February of last year was 36. That's actually down 36%. And the pending sales are actually down as well. So we have less pending transactions at 25 versus 28 last year. And the closed sales are down as well. 16 closed sales so far versus 21 in February of last year. Now, days on market is also going down too. That's a very interesting indicator. Last year in 2025, as of February, it was 40 days on market for the zip code, average days on market. Right now, or as of February of this year, it was 14. That's actually a 65% drop. That is showing strength in the market. Also, percent of list price received has slightly gone up. So last year it was around 97.6% in February of last year. This last February, it was 99.7% of list price. So that's actually a 2.2% increase. Overall inventory of homes, though, for sale has increased. So last year, or in February of 2024, it was 30. This year, it's as of February, it was 35 homes. So up 16.7%. So that also does affect the month supply of inventory at 1.1 last year in February versus 1.2 this year. Vary ever so slightly. There's also like no condo data because this zip code isn't well known for its condos. Check out this treehouse. So while we walk through this treehouse, as a reminder, I'm going to start doing some YouTube lives weekly in the evenings on the channel, where I will be going over deep diving into stats as well as real estate news. This will be geared towards serious home buyers who want to learn about the area and what's going on in the market, as well as home sellers that would like to get some better tips on how to go about making sure they get the most value out of their home, and they can be watching the market with me in different areas in King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties to figure out when would be the best time for you to put your home on the market. So if you'd like to do some deep dives into the real estate market and kind of do something a lot more in depth than what I just did now, feel free to join those live streams on my channel. Also, they will be there as a rewatch or a replay afterwards to check out the live if you can't make it to the live events. But the beautiful thing about coming to the live is you'd be able to bring your questions that you have that I can answer on the spot. So looking forward to seeing you all there and starting to do that every week. What did you think of this treehouse? I have to know, it's pretty interesting that it's a shared treehouse between the two neighbors, but I think it's such a cool treehouse between this slide here, the spiral staircase. Again, don't look out the window if you're afraid of heights, but just such a killer view. This property was so much fun to film. Again, a little bit different since I do primarily new construction, but I do like to also show really cool, interesting resale homes. And I also like to show what affordable homes look like in the greater Seattle area as well, and give you that good mix. Now, walking down the stairs or this path here, you'll also see this really cool fountain feature. There's so much to explore on this property. It'd be really cool to be a kid exploring this property. Super fun. Let me know though in the comments below what you think of this home tour. I would love to know what your thoughts are on this property. Is this the style that you would be looking to move into? Do you like hilltop living? Do you like larger properties like this? Let me know. I would love to know. Also, one more thing to note, as you can tell from the front yard here, you've got real grass versus the AstroTurf that was in the backyard. And there you have it. Let me know below in the comments section what you thought of this beautiful home tour here, right here in Auburn, Washington. Again, my name's Aaron Morrow. I'm a local realtor here in the greater Seattle area. I've been working with buyers, sellers, and investors in King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties for over a decade now. If you are looking to make your move over here to the greater Seattle area in the next 9 days or 9 months, or you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact info can be found below in the description. I would love to show you how I can make your next move a smooth one. And if you're looking for more luxury property tours, home tours in general, or what other people have said about working with me, buyers and sellers, feel free to look somewhere on the screen right here. And of course, until next time, I hope to be showing you around town, showing you some more property tours, and please subscribe to me for more real estate shenanigans. Have a great day.